Okay, this is one of my favorite parts about taking a donor apart, and that's pulling the engine out. This is fun because it's you get to use your shop crane, which is conveniently storing all the sporting equipment in my garage. But we get to pull this thing out and see how it looks like. We'll put it on an engine stand I have stored somewhere around here. But this is going to be the fun part. And then we're getting really close. The last part's going to be the rear end. But again, my next favorite fun thing, I guess the second fun thing, is watching this carcass leave the house. So let's do my second favorite thing and take the engine out. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is remove these two nuts on either side of the engine, and then the drive shaft we just removed in the last episode, so we don't have to drop that. And we'll remove these two, we'll hook up the shop crane, and then we'll go ahead and loosen up the transmission cross member back there, and it should come out. Now this is quite the setup. This is a 21. You have to reach through the suspension to get to it, and then this is blocking you. So now you can see the setup I got here. I actually found this in the car. I have one, but then I reduced it, then took it back, and it gives me just enough room to get to it. Okay, under here, back under the transmission, we got to disconnect this shifter cable. I'm going to leave it connected to the car and disconnect it from the transmission. And then the cross member bolts, these are 13s, and then the ones connected to the transmission are bigger. Okay, transmission cross mount bolts are a 16 for some weird reason. Oh, it's gonna take a bigger wrench than that. Need a pull bar. Okay, right to them. Okay, as you can see, I can move it. The engine is disconnected. We'll do one more thing to prevent a mess. All right, last thing we're going to do is seal up the end of this transmission so it doesn't dump fluid all over the place, which it probably would. So now we need to hook up the engine, and these mod engines don't exactly have engine hooks. So I found two spaces on the back. I'll have to show you when I pull the engine out because it's rather difficult to get to it. And I got my chain hooked to it with some 1/2-inch bolts that I had left over from Project Snake Eyes. So now I can hook up my 1-ton leveler lift back there, and then I think I'm gonna hook the front ones up here and here, but I'm gonna have to take the belt off, this idler pulley, and probably this bracket so I get a good flush mount right here. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, so this side will work. And you can see over here there's another place for it, but no bolt. Then we have to reference all the leftovers from the last builds, and I was able to find something that works after digging around it. I'm pretty sure I could probably find that. Sorry, actually found two. I could probably find that exact bolt in here, but for the sake of time, we're going to use what works. Change of plans over here. This stud that this connected to was getting in the way, and I didn't want to bend it. Looks like it'll be plenty steady to hold it though. Okay, that was quite frustrating to get it to fit. As you can see, I had to, the same stud I put on this side, I had to move it up to that same stud and have to loosen this pulley so it would fit, and then it hits the leveler pretty good. On the back's a tight fit as well, but we got it on there. We got it hooked to the shop crane, but the next problem we got is I don't have enough clearance here on the hood, so it looks like we're going to have to pull the hood off so we can jack up and yank this engine out. Here's the setup. I'm going to take the hood off. Took it down off the jacks. It's on the dollies because I'm not sure if I need to move it around and get some room for garage height. But I use the crane to kind of hold the hood in place because my helper's not here. Jack it up, see if it comes loose. I'm probably going to have to put the jack underneath the transmission, take that cross bracing out, and then lower it so it kind of does this number. Let's just see if we get it up there. Yep, gotta lower the transmission. Okay, we dropped the cross member for the transmission, and so now it's leaning a lot further down. Okay, busted it loose. It kept getting stuck on that right engine mount, left engine mount, whichever it is. I think what I'm gonna do is get it up in the air and then move the car out of the way. Got it out by myself. Okay, don't do as I do. Get some help. Find a buddy. But my buddy is not here tonight, so couldn't help me. So we got it out. Big old empty hole there. And the engine, we got it down. So what we'll do is we also made a huge mess. Yeah, that's nice. And that's why you drain the transmission before you take it out. Oh well, we got it down, so now I gotta find my engine stand. We'll take off the transmission, put it on the stand, and then we can start ordering parts for it. All right, get the transmission off. We'll go ahead and take the rest of this tailpipe off. Couldn't get to it, and they're super tight, so no way we could have got these off under the car. Now the other side. Okay, now we'll get this side. I've already broke them free. Transmission. Okay, I had to get the starter out of the way. Here we go. made quite a mess. You know, I got a deal on this car because it's an automatic. Still get the same 4.6 engine. It's the same from here forward. But man, automatic transmissions are a mess. So now we gotta get the torque converter off so we can hook up the engine stand, and the flywheel has to come off. So the engine stand can hook up to the back of the engine block. The fun continues. Somebody has tried to take this torque converter off before, and this 14mm nut is somewhat stripped. So I don't have a 14mm wrench. I was using 9/16, and it worked for 2 of them, but this one's been wrenched on a few times. So I'm gonna have to take the oil pan off to be able to get to this with a ratchet and a breaker bar. I didn't want to do that, but it's all right. It's coming off anyway. Now we get to it. 14mm. Didn't even know I had a 14mm. That thing's heavy. It's off. So the engine mount uses the transmission bolts, and I'm doing a new flywheel anyway. So we're going to take the flywheel off, and that'll be easier to get behind here and clean while it's on the engine stand. I had to hook up the hoist again. Just debating whether to leave it on there or not. That gives me more room. Rear seal looks good. All right. A little damage here and there. Okay, that barely fits on there. It's very snug. This is one of those Harbor Freight tools you buy one time, you're like, I'll never use it again. It's kind of cool to get to use it again. There we go. It's on our home for a while. All right, that was a task, but we got it on the engine stand. It's gonna be here for a while because we've got a lot of work we're gonna do to it. I mean, basically everything you see on top is gonna be brand new. I'm gonna clean it up, it'll be like a brand new engine. So that's it for this episode. It's probably a long one because that was a lot of work. So I'm gonna clean up some tools, and then we're going to the beach tomorrow.